Guess I'm going then. It's always the awkward bit at the start of a live stream. Also, seem to have crotch cam. Hopefully this is going to be not too choppy. Let's see. I feel like this camera up here is doing nothing. So basically today I wanted to try and talk about. I'm gonna kill this one. Let's sack him off. That improved things a little bit. Hopefully it has. So today I wanted to talk about a book that someone just gave me as a gift. It's my birthday tomorrow. Way, go me. How are we doing for audio? Audio seems good. And, well, obviously you've seen the title. It's this guy. And that's why I wanted this camera to be working. Let's see. I think it's just on a serious delay. Yeah, I've not even got the book in my hand yet there. Wow, that delay is inconvenient. Any better luck? Oh, well, it's kind of there. I think maybe I can just show you like this. Sorry guys, I'm not amazing at these live streams. I think you've probably gathered that already. But I'm trying, that's the point. I'm trying to be better. Bear with me. Oh, this is bad if you're watching on the rerun. Yeah, so the book it's the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis collected works, and this is a book it's a bit of a coffee table piece. It's actually out of print now, and it's just looking at the history of basically my first ever computer gaming system, the Sega Mega Drive, or as it was known elsewhere, the Genesis. Not sure why there were two different names. This is kind of my first look at this book. I had a little flick through it. Just a brief like, oh wow, I've seen some stuff in there. Didn't have a proper look at it. So let's have a look. I mean, it's a really beautiful book. Nice coffee table book. Really like I love like a matte black with like a little gloss black just to accent it. So it's effectively a history of, I think, publisher's note, kind of like a little forward. Don't know who Dave Perry is. Someone who made games for it. I mean, how's best to show this off? Let's see if I can go over the shoulder with this. This is not something you should be doing in a live stream, but how's that? Oh, story time. Let's see. How's that for focus? There we go. So I'm just going to flick through this and have a look. This is less of a book review, let's be honest. This is more like sort of ogling a pretty beautiful piece of art, art, I'd say. I think that's the best way to describe a book like this. So this is actually the Sega that I had. It was the Japanese one that I had. Don't know why, I just did. So what I'm really interested in, okay, there's some like character designs, and we're starting to like look at Sonic and things like that. This book is going to allow me to talk about something that I've been interested in for a little while. So I did have a Sega Mega Drive up until relatively recently. It lived in a cardboard box because I never got it out because I'm a grown-up with things to do. No, not really, because I don't have time for stuff like that. It wasn't a priority. So I sold it. And the thing about selling stuff that is nostalgic and has some sort of value, what is the focus doing? Sorry about this. Let's go. Let's go there for focus. Where was I at? So I was saying, yeah, so getting rid of things that are nostalgic it's a kind of a scary thing, but I've been trying to live more minimally, and things like having an old games console can kind of be, it can weigh on you, because that nostalgia, it invites you to think about it, and it invites you to feel guilty about something like an old games console. You're not playing with it. You think, oh, maybe I should get it out at some point. And you live in this kind of like, oh, I should be doing that. I should do this thing. And it's not a great headspace to be in, especially when you've got a lot of other stuff to do. So one of the things that some minimalists do is they will take photographs of the things that are nostalgic to them, and they will then keep those photographs in some way. Some of them print them into books, some of them just have them as digital. But it's a way of kind of, oh, that's nice. So this here is Sega VR promotional photograph, 1993. Damn, that's a good looking piece of VR headset. Yeah, so they'll keep them, and that photograph then represents the thing that that you were nostalgic about. But then you don't have this urgency of like playing with something or revisiting it. Excuse me, sorry about that. You don't have this sort of need to revisit it and stuff in a kind of physical way. And that's kind of what this book is doing for me. Let's just try and move this camera down a little bit. How's that? There we go. So this actually serves me better than the actual item, because this is on a bookshelf. This is something that I can reference, and I can indulge in that nostalgia in a very easy way and a very minimal, simple way, and something that doesn't take up time necessarily. This is beautiful though. These are like the sort of blueprints for the actual console. And I can understand that a lot of people wouldn't be super interested in this, but I think that idea can be used for a lot of different things. Ooh, that's not what they look like. I've seen one that looked a bit like that. I love plans. So if you don't know, I studied architecture at uni. Mainly just because I like this kind of drawing. Not sure I actually wanted to be an architect, but that's a different story for a different day. How are we doing? His thing, stream health is healthy. So these are specification documents. Oh wow! So this is kind of listing out like actual detailed specifications, like how many, like an 8 byte. The 8 bytes for one sprite is 256 dots. That's kind of interesting. So this is Mega Adapter. Oh wow. So the Sega was one of these like really modular systems by the end of it. It had like the Sega CD, it had 32-bit, it had like these add-ons. I just love these like render drawings. Like that is a concept print. Oh, that's really beautiful as well. So as I say, this isn't really a book review. This is just an excuse for me to indulge in looking at this. This VR thing is nice. It looks like it wouldn't be super comfortable. That one definitely doesn't. Can you see that properly? Look at that. Ooh. Oh, I remember this. This is like the joystick thing. Interesting. Super Genesis. Okay, fair enough. Oh, that's the Mega Drive 2. Yeah, Model 2. Huh. Yeah, so that's the one I had. That was the Japanese one. And then that's the American one, which is the Genesis. And then that's the European one, which just, I don't know, it just uncannily looks different. So all that was different was the some of the colouring on it. I didn't have that one. I had the Japanese one. Yes, I remember that controller. That controller was life for a while. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, so there was these bizarre like add-ons, like the Sega CD, Sega Mega CD, modem, as if. Oh, that is nice. The wireless controller, infrared controller. Don't know what Megajet was. No way, it had a karaoke system. Sorry, this is just indulgent of me to kind of go through this with you. Hopefully it's a little bit of nostalgia. This, as I say, isn't a book review, and I can't really recommend this book. Even though it's a beautiful piece, it's an expensive piece now because it's out of print. These are I don't even know what these are, but these are beautiful. Just really nice industrial design. Really of its time, like early 90s graphics, as in like graphic design. Golden Axe, remember that one? So this is kind of cover art. I'm less interested in this sort of thing. Let me know what you think. Anyone watching, just, you know, in the comments. Yeah, I'm not really there for all this sort of stuff. Kind of a bit boring. Yeah. I think that once it gets to the in-game design, that's a little different. Yeah, so I wanted to sort of bring you along with like looking through this. Oh, he looks really weird. Echo the Dolphin, such a weird game. Remember that cover well. Yeah, I wanted to bring you along with this just because the chances are you're probably not going to go out and buy this book. It's not, I mean, it's probably not something that anyone's massively going to be buying themselves. I mean, there probably are, but, you know, at the price it's at now, I can't, as I say, I can't recommend it really, even though I really like it. Well, let's get past these. I'm not interested in the game design documents. There we go. This is a bit more interesting. Is it? Maybe it is. I like the fact that Yeah, like these are interesting where you like seeing that they were plotting out the stories, and I'm sure it's much more convoluted and complex now. It's the opening scenes. I like that storyboarding. Nice. Huh. So this is like the how you play, like how the game plays through. Someone had to write out like what they wanted the controls to actually do. I think this is incredible. Just to realize the amount of work that goes into things that you kind of know are designed, but you just don't realize that there is so much work. Huh. Sonic. Let's try and get a little more zoomed in. How's that? That's a little more zoomed in, isn't it? I want to get to the point where you can like see the sort of pixel designs for stuff. I think that's a bit more interesting. I have no idea who these guys are. Does anyone know? Like Toe Jam and Earl? Anyone play Toe Jam and Earl? There we go. This is a bit more interesting. Because there's a technical skill and an artistry to like designing a recognizable character in, 256 dots or whatever it was. Is this telling you how many dots there is? I think it is. Probably one of the most recognizable characters. I recognise some of these Dr. Robotniks more than I recognise the later ones, because I wasn't that great at that. Oh, there's like a visceral, like nostalgia hitting me when I see these guys. These are like the bad guys from like the early levels of Sonic. That is a nostalgia hit. Sorry, that glare's getting in the way, isn't it? Some of these I don't know. Just really beautifully like crafted images though. I think you forget about that when you're looking at especially an old computer game. Like how do you represent fire, say, or this, like that's got to be a robot that's like clearly recognizable as such. Ooh, level design. Interesting. Toe Jam and Earl. Never heard of it. Literally never heard of it. Why is that like Pokemon? Phantasy Star 2. Interesting. Ooh. I know, they're not. I thought these were Streets of Rage. So Streets of Rage must have been called Bare Knuckle in some territories. Sonic, I recognise these. Not so much that one. I recognise that one. That one is like a visceral, like that and that. Whew. I get that this is a niche live stream. There's been a couple of people tuning in and out. Thank you for watching. Oh right, so these are all the... Okay, fair enough. I love that. So in some pages of this, they've switched to like different paper. Ah, okay, so this is for like interviews. So these are all interviews with designers and things. That's cool. I mean, cool is probably not the word, but you know, something. I think the Sega Mega Drive is a really interesting bit of history, and it's one of them things like I'm not going to keep a console about because it is gonna, you know, it's gonna fail, it's gonna fade, it's gonna not work one day when you turn it on, and you know that's a shame then. But this book, you know, this book can stay with me now, and be that nostalgic hit. You know, it's a book that's gonna live on my shelf for a good long time. Sorry, tripod doesn't loosen up. Going that way? There we go. No. There we go. Well, that was a waste of effort, that thing. So, too high. There we go. So that was that. I mean, as I say, it wasn't a review. It was just a kind of look through that book. It's hard to review a coffee table book like that is potentially really expensive, because it's not something you can be like, go out and buy a copy, because you're going to be hunting on eBay or something like that. Maybe back in print at some point. May already be back in print, but it's definitely still going for sort of 150 to 200 on eBay. So yeah, that was that. I'm trying to do these live streams every week. I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to kind of look through it. So yeah, it's a really interesting book. But I think that thing about nostalgia and minimalism and replacing like a big physical object that takes up a lot of space, and not just physical space, but that mental space, that kind of that worry that it's not even worry, it occupies a little tiny bit of your mind that kind of grows and shrinks, you know, in like you maybe spot it and you'll go, oh, maybe I should play with that, or maybe I should like use that thing, maybe I should take that. What? I swear this. Sorry, I'm new to this this whole like doing stuff on live stream. Face tracking back on. There we go. That even if it's a small amount of space, these like nostalgic things, these things that we think we should keep because someone gave them to us as a gift or something like that, each one of them occupies a tiny little bit of space, and that space adds up and crowds your mind. And getting rid of those things can be great for your sort of mental well-being, for your productivity, things like that. And I think that replacing it is actually a really healthy way to go. Replacing it with something that's, you know, like a book, or taking pictures of something as you get rid of it, I think can really be helpful. Now, it's not for everyone. Minimalism isn't for everyone. I mean, I'm not minimalist when it comes to my work. I think that would be a little bit redundant. But it's those, you know, I'm not going to replace my tripods with photographs of tripods, am I? But for other stuff, like old games consoles, or, you know, if you've got that cuddly toy from when you were little, those things can be replaced by photographs or books or something like that. And to go a step further, that kind of collector's item of a book is a great way to go, because that's something that then other people can value, you know, once you're done with it. Like, no one's going to value a picture of something that you once valued. It just doesn't work that way. So yeah, that's my look at the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis Collected Works. I think it's a beautiful book, great coffee table book. Next time, I've not decided quite yet what next week's is going to be on. I was actually hoping to have finished The Handmaid's Tale and the Testaments by next week, but it doesn't look like I will right now, so that's probably a no-go. I'll think of something else. I've read quite a lot recently, so I'll pull something else out. I'll stick it in the description for this video, and I'll put some links to it if you want to buy it, which will help me out if you want to buy this one. I do actually have a link to buy this one as well, but don't feel pressured to do that. How are we doing for time? Half an hour nearly. Yeah, that's kind of all I've got to say. Check me out on Instagram. What I'm going to start trying to do is bollocks. What the? Yeah. So battery went. That's annoying. Yeah, so what I'm going to try and do is put it out in my stories what book I'm actually going to be talking about beforehand, so that you can actually have a chance to read it and maybe join me in the comments. Oh, hey, someone's actually commented. Woo! Hey, Jason. One. Hey. Yeah, so go check out my Instagram, follow me over there. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, I do, I look at photography, I look at travel and photography and food and things like that, and just kind of generally trying to open my mind from a kind of minimalist and mindful place. So if you kind of like the sound of that, although I don't know why you would, because the way I've just described it sounds awful, just subscribe. Check me out for a little while. I post a video every week, and hopefully I'll do a live stream every week too, now that I've got the equipment set up. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.